So since you run the cooking school, what do you think makes the school unique?
I think the thing that we do differently than everybody else is we almost exclusively do hands-on classes. So I would say that there's only one exception to that rule, which is our canning class, but everything else is hands-on. Where you go to other places, they do demonstration classes. There are a few other places that you can do hands-on, but really it's really mostly our concentration to do hands-on here.
How do you select who you're going to work with? I mean, you've got to have a pretty tight team of chefs. You know, how did they come to you?
We do. The people who work for me now are the greatest group of people that I could ever ask for. We've had a lot of people come and go, and happily this has been the best 9 months in the last 4 years that I've been here. And they're just really exceptional because they all really like each other. They all really want to be here for the students. So a lot of times when you have chefs teaching cooking classes, most chefs, first of all, teach demonstration cooking classes, so it's all about them. And they just get to be the star of the show, and secretly it's their chance to be, the next Food Network star.
Right, they're the rock stars.
Exactly. But what's really nice about the people who work here now is they really care so much about each student. And it's not their chance to show off, and it's not their chance to say the smartest thing about food that this person's ever heard. They're really here to help somebody learn.
When it seems like while they're teaching some of the basics on the cooking, some basic knife skills and things like that, they're also giving people a little bit of nutrition behind it as well. Is that kind of built into it, or does that just spontaneously happen?
It's kind of spontaneous. What's really nice about the people who work here, for instance, Julie, who's teaching tonight, is a registered dietitian. So
nice.
She brings something to our program that none of the rest of us have. We might have some very basic or maybe more advanced nutrition knowledge, but since she's a registered dietitian, she's like our nutritional authority, and she knows a lot about food science and why things do the things that they do, and how our bodies, like to eat certain things, and the things that go together, and all of that she brings from a different approach than the rest of everybody else. So then we have this other person named Robert, and we like to say that Robert's like our walking food encyclopedia.
Nice.
So any random little tidbit of information about food that Robert heard like 10 years ago, he just has it in there, and he's probably never even recalled it in the last 10 years, but right then he's got something to say. So that's one of the other, really special things. Everybody who works in here is so different than everybody else that they all kind of have their own little following also. So people come to the classes and they'll decide, who do I want to be with? I want to go over here because today I really want to hear more about the background of this food or this cuisine, or I really want to know nutritionally something. And they've developed these followings of people.
So you get a lot of repeat students then?
We do. We have a lot of repeat students. What I try to do, because it is really important to me that people come back. We want this to be a place where people feel comfortable. We want them to see us as a resource. The reason that we have so many repeat people is because we really try that every time that they do come back, they get a completely unique experience. So since I get the privilege of doing all of the recipe packets, I do all of the reservations, or at least, I'm the last person who sees the reservations. I write our class packets actually 2 hours before the class happens.
Oh, wow.
And that way I have the most current, up-to-date information about who has been here, which class have they come to, what did we make in the classes that they had come to last time. And sometimes we'll have people, maybe 3 or 4 people who have been here multiple times, and every time we do a class I go back and I look at every class that they've each had and look at each packet that they've had, and I try my very, very best to make sure that they don't repeat anything. So I believe that's why they come back.
They're really getting a breadth of experience then because of that.
Oh yeah. We're trying to make sure that this is something that's a valuable thing for them to do. It's not cheap to come here, I know that. It's expensive. And the reason that we really feel that it's worth it is because we're providing such an individual experience for each person, and that keeps people coming back.
Well, how did you find out about the cooking classes at Mirepoix?
My fiance actually lives in Ferndale, so we're pretty familiar with the area, and this was actually a gift from his parents for our birthdays. We got to come here and take a cooking class.
Nice. Is it something that you ever saw yourself taking in the first place?
Yeah, him and I actually love to cook at home, and we didn't really know how to cook any Middle Eastern food, so it was an opportunity to learn how to make some stuff that we really liked eating but didn't know how to make ourselves. So we were pretty excited about it.
I see he's getting some instruction on how to actually chop garlic. I mean, are you learning anything that you didn't know before? Or?
Yeah, lots of little things, especially certain knife skills and technical skills, stuff like that. It's really interesting to learn.
Cool.
Well, I love to cook, and I have, I've eaten a lot of Middle Eastern food, and I've always been curious as to actually, some of the best ways to make it. Because I've tried to make hummus before, and it just didn't turn out. It was grainy, and so I figured if I came to actually come to a professional class, that I would actually learn a lot better and actually see the secrets.
So did you know about Mirepoix before, or have you?
I'd heard about it before, but I didn't know anybody that actually went to a class before. I've met other people that have been to other classes, but not Mirepoix.
So what made you? I mean, what made you decide to come to this one?
But I actually came in and actually had a quick tour of what it looked like and everything, and I mean everything looked really nice and clean and professional inside, and like it was well put together. So made me had an idea that probably the instruction was that way as well.
Yeah. What do you think so far? Is this your first class? Then?
Yeah, this is my first cooking class ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is great. Everybody's really helpful. Easy to follow instructions. And it's even if you have a question that's maybe something that's easy, they don't it's still treated as you feel like you're not stupid or anything like that. It's